Hello there, my name is Linda, also known as Tortajala around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. And this month I'm participating in Junk Journal July that is hosted by Meg Journals and Get Messy Art Journal. And I'm sharing a weekly update so that I could flip through and talk about the pages that I've created for the challenge. I do post on Instagram, or I try to post on Instagram daily, but usually it's just the beginning of the page, or it might not be completely finished. But in this flip through, I am definitely showing you the completed pages. So I'm working in my Moleskine 18-month daily diary in the large size and just sort of using the dated pages for this month of July for this challenge. So, for week 2, on Friday, July 12th, the prompt word was packaging. So, I immediately started using basically all of my old, like, traveler's notebooks packaging thingies. I can't seem to throw them away, even though it's just obviously part of the packaging, like inserts. So I decided to use some of it and just write about how I have sort of been missing my traveler's notebooks. I mean, I like so many different things, and I think it's a problem for many of us who love stationery. I mean, we just like all the stationery things, so you get very into maybe one thing, and then you neglect like some of the other things that you obviously still enjoy and love. You just, there's only so much time. So that is a very simple collage and writing, like really a couple minutes, not that much time at all. So if I flip the page, the next prompt was the word light. And I immediately used some alphabet stickers that I have. And this is another one of those things where I just printed these out myself and cut them with my silhouette. You can definitely buy a lot of alpha stickers, but there's always that problem of like you're always missing like certain letters and then you never use up all the alpha stickers. But obviously I have a silhouette, which is a digital cutting machine. So using sticker paper, I can definitely just make whatever it is I need. So it's a pretty big machine and I have it off to the side because it doesn't fit like in my desk area. So it's sort of that problem of like you have all these tools and things, but you don't use it because it's like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So over the weekend, I did like take it out and made like a whole bunch of stuff, like stickers and things, so that I would just have them ready to use. So on this page, I basically use these alphabet letter stickers to write out the word light, and it basically says like let your light shine bright. And I have a little cutout from an old journaling card for like a happy face, and just did some journaling on the bottom. So like super simple. And I know that this is a junk journal challenge, and most people think of junk journals as like obviously using junk like supplies or very much having like that vintage look, but I definitely think of it with a much more open mind, in the sense that junk journaling, the whole point of it all is just to be like, use whatever you have. It's okay. It's really about the journaling process itself, just getting creative, sticking some papers down, doing whatever it is that, floats your boat. And that is really the point. It's not necessarily the end product, even though sometimes, of course, you have a very specific end product in mind. But I think that in the journaling community in general, we use a lot of these words to talk about very specific like styles, shabby chic or vintage or very minimalist modern journaling, or some people are very like hardcore journaling in terms of like actually just pen on paper writing, and other people are more like sticker heavy. But it's all okay. Like I think that any of those styles is fine. The whole point, again, is the process. So if you have seen any of my previous videos and things like that, you will notice that I do all kinds of journaling, like all different styles, all different things, because I guess I do like different types of styles, and it just really depends on my mood and what I have around me. So I just let myself do whatever. Okay, so the next page, the prompt word was weather. and I just decided to use some like floral die cuts that I had in my stash. Again, I'm very much trying to use the things that I have around me rather than like holding them onto them for like the perfect opportunity. But I just stuck them on and started journaling because I wanted to talk about weathering difficult challenges in life and things like that, and also in your creativity, like if you're in a creative slump or something. But really, you'll notice that this like week of pages, I didn't have a lot of time, so it's really simple in terms of the pages that I've created, and a lot of it is really just writing my thoughts out. So a lot of the traditional, journaling, when someone says journaling, like just writing. So let's move on to the second, or the next page. The prompt is homemade, and I just decided to use some papers that I designed myself, and use like one of my punches because I have a really bad, like when I have things in drawers, again, out of sight, out of mind, I don't use it. So I really have to remind myself to like use the supplies that I have. So I do have a lot of like of these like scrapbook type punches. So just really simple and writing a little bit there. So homemade meaning like I was very much thinking about how, of course, it's always wonderful to buy new supplies and new stationery items, but at the same time, you can make a lot of things yourself. You can print things out. You can use is this existing packaging. Again, that goes with junk journaling, especially because it can look very cool and be fun to play with, even if it's quote unquote, homemade supplies. So don't forget about that. This other page here, the prompt was petal. So again, I went into my punches because I had that drawer open. So I decided to use my punches just to punch out some shapes from some paper and make little flowers. And again, you can see it's super simple because I didn't have that much time this past week and I was just journaling in general. And this last flower on the bottom here, it's actually just cut out. So it's just like using your scissors to cut out wonky shapes and making, a flower out of it. And I remember seeing someone before, they use like packaging, like cereal boxes and things like that. They sort of organize it like by color, and then they use that as their paper, which is a great way to like recycle, upcycle. And obviously, if I would have like colored this up a bit, you would be able to see like the petals better because obviously it's just all pink, but the effect is there. Moving on to the next page, the prompt is aged on this left hand side here. So I just stuck in some sort of like old papers that I have, and I definitely keep a lot of ephemera. So this card thingy that you see here on the left is actually like the tag from a really old like leather travel wallet kind of thing. And so it has like all this stuff in French for like writing down your information and sticking it in this travel wallet thing. So I just thought it was cool, and just wrote a little bit about that and my thoughts about like why some things are considered better when they're aged, like wine and things like that, whereas some things are considered, no good when they're aged or old. So it's just interesting thinking about that aspect of the word aged. And finally, the prompt for today, the 18th, is the word free. And I immediately just used the alpha stickers from this particular moleskin. You know how they give you like a sheet of alpha stickers with your moleskins? So it said free yourself with. And that's what I actually posted on Instagram because I was asking like what would you fill in, like how would you finish that phrase. But I obviously my theme this month is about creativity, so I wrote free yourself with creativity. And I was just journaling about how sometimes I do get very hung up in creating my pages or creating anything, designs and things like that in general, because I feel like there needs to be some kind of deep meaning behind every aspect. And it is cool when there is like a story behind everything and meaning behind it, but I don't think that you need to always create in that way. Like you can simply just like savor the joy of playing with papers and stationery supplies, colored paper, washi tapes, stickers, pens, whatever. Just enjoying the analog, like tactile feel of doing things in your journal in that way. And it doesn't have to be about, again, going back to that idea of it's the process, not like the final product that really, really matters. It's the fact that you spent a couple of minutes for yourself, letting yourself be creative, letting your mind relax, unwind, and sort of getting that creative time in, which obviously helps with your, mental health and everything like that. So it was just simply journaling about that. So those were my pages for week 2 of Junk Journal July, and you'll notice that, yeah, the pages are really simple. There isn't really anything extraordinary or any kind of cool, paper crafting in a sense. It's just simple things, a few minutes of playing around and having fun, and definitely a lot more like actual writing this time around because I have so many things like on my mind. And it's interesting because when I use this daily moleskin for these challenges, I feel like I need another place to write more. So hopefully I'll be able to share later on like a new sort of passport setup that I did for more journaling. So hopefully I'll be able to share that in a future video after this month of Junk Journal July has finished. So those are my pages for the week. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're participating in Junk Journal July, please let me know. Leave your link down below. If you have YouTube or Instagram, I would definitely like to check out your pages and cheer you on. And as always, let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or feedback. I would love to hear from you. And by the way, if you do love journaling and if you like using digital printables, I am building my community on Ko-fi. You can check out the link in the description to find out more. But basically, join as a member and get all the digital printables I post on my Ko-fi feed for download. There's art prints, digital papers, journaling cards, that kind of thing. And of course, you can visit my Ko-fi shop if you just want to buy designs one-off. I also have a blog with totally free printables if you just want to try out some things. So hop on over to tortajala.com, download some pattern papers, and use it for your next journal page. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me here, and until next time, bye.